Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Lion Villain Report. It's 10 a.m. It's Christopher Walken is here right now. He's going to do the intro so we don't get hit with copyrights and whatnot. So thank you for enjoying the show. That it could be good for you. It could be good for you. It could be good for your life. Welcome one, welcome all, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Lion Villain Report. I am your host, Russell Wayne, and we are broadcasting live right now into the 53,000 follower page of the Lion Villain Squad. Thank you for all of your support, liking, following, sharing, subscribing to this page. We have over 53,000. We're approaching 54,000. We are going to hit it this week. Also broadcasting live into the Villain Squad YouTube page. Please subscribe right there and say, hey, I took care of that thing for you. Just like Pete the Unaliver right there. We're also broadcasting live into the Detroit Lions News podcast. That is Joe Chap and the boys. Thank you for allowing us to broadcast into your platform. We're brought to you, as always, by NFL Shop, affiliate marketing partners with NFL Shop. Use the code. Go get yourself 25% off of that slick-looking Jahmyr Gibbs jersey right there. And our Facebook stars are going to go to my wife's page right here. My wife, Ashton Metler, is a advocate for autism awareness. My son has autism, so she uses her page to share resources for parents that have children that have special needs or autism there. So support my wife's page by hitting the stars right there, because 100% is going to go to support her autism awareness page. It's faith, family, and then football on here in that order. We got to make sure we keep things into perspective right here. We use football to create memories and spend time with our family. We don't let football use us. Join the conversation. We have all these different platforms that are out there. We're asking questions. We're talking about this week's game. We're talking about last week's game, but make sure you put a comment on there. Make sure you put a comment on there and join the conversation. Let's see who we got in here so far. Right there, I want to say hello to Fred Peterson. What's going on, Fred Peterson? What's going on, Henry Gray? Good morning, Lion family and villains. Absolutely love when we're talking on Victory Monday. We also call it Overreaction Monday as well, because now Lions are Super Bowl contenders again. Everybody's happy and everybody's not jumping off of a ledge. That's good. I can almost guarantee the next week we will see the 49ers or Dallas run the hook and ladder play. Yeah. That was a pretty sweet play. We're going to get to that right there. David, big W for the Pride. Good morning, y'all. Zebras tried to screw us again with the ball placement one more time. Campbell challenge was spot on. I loved that call right there. And like Fred says right here, I want to put this caveat on there. I'm not saying anything about the refs. That should have been a pick six. My lips are sealed. LOL. Yeah, that was something that was nice. For once in a while, they didn't screw up. They could have easily just stopped that play at the end and gave them a pick six. But here's the thing with that. I don't think they could do that because they whistled the play dead. They whistled the play dead, so there wasn't. I mean, they wouldn't have gotten in. I don't know. That's a touchy situation. That's one of the reasons why I wish they would never whistle the plays dead. Like, no matter what, you got to see the play through, even if it doesn't count. But then, you got that whole injury thing going right there. But on that fourth down, I thought it was an absolute great call that he missed the fourth down, because I don't believe, like, a lot of these running quarterbacks like to play around with this slide. The whole slide thing. So, am I going to use my shoulder or am I going to slide? Am I going to use my shoulder? Am I going to slide? Am I going to use my shoulder? And he slid at a lateral way, and then he was able to move the ball out. If they would have given him that, when you go into a slide, it's right where the slide starts, not where your extension is during the slide. So it was a great call. It was a stop on fourth down. Big tackle by Carlton Davis on that. I loved that. Good morning. It's a great day to be a Lion from Peterson. That was an awesome play from Amon-Ra St. Brown. Toss to Gibbs for the touchdown. The old hook and lateral. Rate that hook and lateral in the comments right now on a scale of 1 to 11. That's what I want to know. How awesome was that? Did that get the 11? Did that get the 11 for you? Let's freaking go. Let's rate it on a scale of 1 to 11. That play right there, the way that it made you feel when that happens. I mean, I was on the Villain Cast yesterday on the YouTube channel, and I don't remember exactly what my reaction was, but it had to be really, really good. A really good reaction. So David says, yes, Fred, that may have been premature on the whole whistle, but maybe not. Hey, it's nice that the Lions are on the other side of that. We're always talking about negative line. I'll laugh my ass off. People start complaining about the Lions actually getting ref calls. It's about time you get one every once in a while. I mean, come on. I just had deja vu with Lions where the refs were concerned in the history. It's the truth, man. It's the truth. How about them Tigers? Them Tigers are in the playoff race right now. This is more about maintaining at this point in time. Tigers are on fire. And these were all the comments. Great conversation, guys. Kudos to you guys getting on the post right off and before the YouTube promo even came in. You guys are in here having football conversations before we even start the show. That is one of my dreams right there. I love the fact that you do that. That's awesome. Paul Jones in the house. Now Paul Jones has just been made a supervillain over the weekend right there. Paul is now one of the moderators in our Detroit Lions main event group, and we're about ready to take that group to another level. We started a little moderator chat in the back. Paul's got some great ideas on how to continue to build this Lions network of fans and great people in there. Thank you, Paul Jones, for everything that you're doing. Jeffrey Addison, thank you for everything that you guys are doing to help build this group and help to build this community of Lions fans who choose to fan in the way that we want to fan. What up, Doe? LaFleur got it done against another bad team. Ooh, can't do that in here this week. The rules on our show, Jeremy, are that we can't make fun of the teams that won. Like the one that when you get the win, we get the wave. I mean, let's talk about this win today. Let's talk about what we did. I mean, the Green Bay Packers getting it done. I mean, they dominated that game, and they should dominate that game. You know what I'm saying? So you're talking about them Green Bay Packers. It's like, yeah, they dominated, and they did it against a bad team. Who cares? This is the NFL. This is the NFL, and the Green Bay Packers deserve their flowers right there, getting it done with Malik Willis. You see, the Packer fans, they usually go into witness protection until they find out that they're winning. So I don't even know if there's any Packer fans that are out there that are going to hear me complimenting their team. Getting it done with Malik Willis and playing really good defense. So I got nothing. I got nothing but love for the Packers right there. Them getting it done. You know, who cares? Who cares how you win the game? I ain't going to complain about the way that we're going to win the game. Wow, surreal. Christopher Walken. Yeah. If he was here right now, he'd say that in kneecap biting with Motor City Lions, said Ravens almost choked away the win in Dallas. But they didn't. Dallas doing Dallas things, Jeremy. That had to make you smile a little bit. We don't like the Dallas Cowboys around here. We don't. Good morning to John. Good morning, Scotty Reno. And Matthew's been telling everybody, the rednecker, saying, told everybody, we're just fine. We're fine. Nothing to worry about. It's a long season. The clock hit 2 minutes before the hike. It did. It did, but they shouldn't have whistled the play dead. You know, that's the thing is like if they're stopping it from happening, they got to let the things play out, right? I mean, I don't know. It was like at the same time, but you know, if you're going by the clock that they put out there, the one that they have on TV, you're right, Jeremy. That clock hit a bit before the hike. That should have been a turnover. You know, finish the play, guys. If you learned anything from the referees helping us right there, you know, you may not have liked the calls in the second half, right? Both of the calls that I thought were BS in the second half that were against the Lions. I mean, I was even saying it on the Villain cast that it's, you know, makeup calls. They blew that call. That should have been a turnover at the half. But it wasn't. They ended up getting another shot. Another shot at 3rd and 12. I mean, how big was that? How big was that? And how about Goff sealing the win with his legs? You got to watch that RPO, baby. You got to watch that RPO. You know, Goff coming out of the, hitting the edge like a baby giraffe. Oh, here comes Jared Goff like a baby giraffe sealing the game. That's 3 for 3. Goff picking up the first down using his legs. You got to like that. You got to like that. You like that? I was just mad that nobody tackled the guy on the botched interception. I agree with that, Brian. Like, you gotta finish the play out. I mean, they were lucky that they didn't just call it like that. Now, I don't think they would have been able to just like give them a touchdown on that. As my partner in crime is sitting in the back right now. We got to bring on my Monday morning co-host. This is the main event. Mike is here. How you doing, Mike?
Good morning, villains. Good morning, Russ. Sorry, I'm late.
You are?
Sorry, I'm late. I was doing something.
You were doing something.
I was doing something. Sorry,
man,
I'm late.
This is now. Remember, this is a family show, faith, family, and then football. We don't want to hear about.
I was busy. I was busy trolling the Bears and in trash talk.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get to that. We're bringing back the roast post segment today. I didn't even tell everybody that.
We're bringing it back.
We're bringing it back. We're bringing back, and it ain't sexy. We ain't bringing sexy back. We ain't bringing back anything of worth. We're bringing back the roast posts. And after we break down this game, and Mike does such a great tale of the tape right here. But after we break this game down, talk a little bit of NFC North, we're going to bring back the roast post by the end of this. So make sure you stick around all the way till the end. And this next segment is brought to you by that sweet-looking Jared Goff jersey right there. You can follow that QR code and get that sweet-looking Jared Goff RPO Special Edition jersey. Run pass option, picking up the first down, black sweet jersey right there. Using the Lion Villain code right there. Get yourself 25% off. Thank you to NFL Shop. Mike, give me the tail of the tape.
Oh, the tail of the tape in this game is David Montgomery. That's the tail of the tape. Just love that the Lions did not abandon the run. Even when it didn't work like against Tampa, they just went away from it when they got stuffed a few times on the run. But they kept hammering, kept fighting, kept mixing in Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. David Montgomery, 23 carries, 105 yards and a touchdown. He had a 4.6-yard average. Seemed like they got stuffed a lot on the run, but we were watching and that great camera angle that they had from Glendale, Arizona. You could see the entire defense and how they were set up on every play. And they were stacking the box against the run, and we were still able to run the ball. A couple of concerns for me that the Cardinals also seem to know what we were doing on every down. That's 3 games in a row now that the teams seem to know what we're doing on offense. I don't know if Ben Johnson, everybody's gotten hip. We're not sneaking up on anybody anymore or what it is. Jahmyr Gibbs also with 16 carries, 83 yards. The Lions with a total of 187 yards on the ground. They hold the Cardinals to just 77 yards on the ground. So they went into the game, Russ, as the 17th ranked defense, or the 14th ranked defense, 14th ranked defense in the league through 2 weeks. They were 4th against the run and 21st against the pass. Well, you saw yesterday why they were 4th against the run. James Conner unable to get anything going. On the first drive, Kyler Murray had some runs when we were in man coverage, but Aaron Glenn made a great adjustment. We were able to shut down his running for the rest of the game. Jared Goff didn't look stellar, even though his completion percentage was pretty good, 18 of 23. He had 199 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 bad interception. He just flat out didn't see the guy, but his rating is up over 100. It's at 113.6 for the first time this year. That's an improvement. That is encouraging. And Jared Goff with 6 yards rushing, okay, on a naked boot on 3rd down to seal the game. They call him Turbo. Jared Turbo Goff. That's his new name. Or Wheels, we could call him. That was great to see. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, probably the MVP of the game. 7 catches, 75 yards, and a touchdown. He had 7 catches on 8 targets, by the way. So that's good accuracy by Jared Goff. Brian Branch led the team in tackles with 9. Aiden Hutchinson with 1 sack, the only sack in the game for the Lions. But I think that's more about Kyler Murray and his slipperiness than it is about the Lions pass rush not getting home. Seemed like they were pressuring him all game long, putting him off his spots. And Aiden Hutchinson with another sack. He now has 7 sacks in 3 games, barreling towards all pro with those numbers. But it was spread out. No Alex Anzalone, and I feel like we kind of missed him a little bit. But let's face it, the defense stepped up big in the second half. Lions were shut out in the second half. They scored 20 points in the first half and never scored another point. But they were able to hold the Cardinals to just 3 points in the second half on a few trips to the red zone. So another thing they got done yesterday was the red zone trips for the Lions after going 1-7 against Tampa. Red zones, in the red zone, they were 2 for 2 in the red zone yesterday. They got creative with the hook and lateral. What? You can call it a hook and ladder if you want, but it isn't correct. It's a hook and lateral, and they got creative in the red zone to get the job done, and they kept pounding David Montgomery on the first drive. They drove the ball right down the field on the first series and punched it in the end zone. That was encouraging. I wouldn't say it was the get-right game we were looking for, but you know what? The Lions covered against a tough Cardinals team on the road, and that's your tale of the tape.
I love it, Mike. Great job once again, man. I love it. I love the way you do the tale of the tape, and I wanted to present, and I threw this out onto the Facebook page. Now, Wednesday, I think, is when I'm going to decide who actually wins the Villain of the Week, but we have nominations. And I thought that I heard that you put Amon-Ra St. Brown putting his little hat in there right there, but I would like to nominate Jack Fox as the Villain of the Week. This guy was a demon. Like, I was just talking about him during the broadcast, and it's like, what an undersold commodity that we had. Pinning him inside the 10-yard line 4 times, inside the 5 twice. What a great punter, what a great weapon that Jack Fox is, because we did play field position battle in that second half, and it was just a beautiful thing. And now I want to caution you guys out there, because I know this is something that happens in every game, is there's a lot of great defensive play that the Lions had in between the highlights, right? A lot of people are going to go, oh my God, you got to learn how to stop those running quarterbacks. He had one drive, guys. He had one drive right off the first. He got some slippery things that happened, and then the Lions defense shut him down for the rest of the game. They made him one-dimensional. Once they took John Connor. John Connor was not futuristic. We went back in time, and Sarah Connor made sure that I was done. No, it was James Conner was supposed to have this big game, and I didn't mind that my fantasy football team suffered. It's okay, because the defense plays lights out, and that's why I'm feeling really good about this Lions team going forward, because defense can win championships. Even though the offense is struggling right now, and maybe not doing everything that we want it to do, as long as you have a good defense, you can be in any game. And there was probably like some kung fu right there going from the third quarter all the way, where there wasn't really any points scored, where it was, we made them completely one-dimensional and made him go to this quick pass game that wasn't going to work, forced him into a whole bunch of 3-and-outs. Kudos to the Lions defense right there. But Jack Fox, you're my nominee for.
I love that call out, Russ. Jack Fox, he should be all pro this year if he continues the way he is. He had a 68-yard punt, by the way, yesterday. And like you said, play in the field position battle. Dan Campbell really knows what he's got now in Jack Fox. He said it on a pregame yesterday, interview. He said he's a weapon, just like you called him, Russ. He called him a weapon. And he's starting to use that weapon and play the field position game like a traditional coach would. I think we see Dan Campbell growing as a coach as we see these players growing as players as well. Mark Gagne in the house, he's nominating Kirby Joseph as villain of the
That's
week.
a
And
great
I gotta
one
love
right
that
there.
call too.
And we will go through all of these. That's the way that I'm going to do it. We're going to get these nominees in here and over the next 2 days, and I'm going to put a post out. Whoever's got the most votes, I'm going to make it fair. And I'm urging everyone, I'm throwing that nominee in there, but it'll be out there, and then you'll have a chance to vote on it. And on Wednesday's show, we're going to reveal who the villain of the week is. So, but don't forget to join me tomorrow for PFF Tuesday. And we're going to break down all the nerdy stats. And we really enjoy this segment, going through all the nerdy stats right there. Let's grade some offensive linemen. Let's see where everybody is on that. I love that type of stuff. So join me tomorrow at 10 a.m. and we'll break down all of the PFF scores, really probably for all of the teams in the NFC North. Whoo, man, feeling good, Mike. Victory Monday.
Yeah, I love. You got a call out here in the chat. I'm going to call it out. Brent says Jack Fox doesn't do push-ups. He benches the planet. Jack Fox can kickstart a fusion reactor. Jack Fox is our backup QB, linebacker, and strong safety. I love that call out. Yeah, Jack Fox we saw on that fake punt last week. He's our QB3, I believe, on the team.
But here's something that we definitely have to talk about here. You know, the Vikings destroyed the Texans, dude. And they're still at the top of the NFC North. And it's like, that's 2 quality wins in a row, man. And I mean, this hate for the Vikings that we've had just has to go away now. I mean, these guys are 3-0. That defense looks legit, and they got Darnold Schwarzenegger. That's right. Donald Schwarzenegger. You thought that you could get me? Get to the chopper. Get to the chopper. Donald Schwarzenegger out there making plays. Making plays, Mike. Who would have thought, man? He goes to Carolina, like, career's dead. He's a backup over there in San Francisco, and he gets to go, pow, take that, San Fran. You should have kept me. Brock Purdy? Brock who? And then he comes in, and then this is a quality win, Mike. This makes, to me, put a shout out to Sarah, the Vike Queen. She's out there. They deserve the flowers. That looks like a legit defense. Oh,
Can I see the dart? Yeah, I want to see that again.
That's spot on, isn't it? Look at
That's
that.
spot on, buddy. Yeah, I've got Aaron Jones.
That looks like a legit team because you're talking about a playmaking wide receiver. You got an awesome offensive line. Their offensive line is, I mean, right, if the Lions are a top 5 offensive line, I think the Vikings are a top 5 offensive line too. I mean, Darrisaw is as good as they come, and they got a running game going. Aaron Jones is a weapon right there. You know, I still don't realize why. I mean, I like Josh Jacobs, you know, in that Green Bay Packer. I mean, he's doing a good job in there. But you had Aaron Jones, that you could have had that at half the price. But you know, they like Josh Jacobs. I'm not going to make too much fun of the Green Bay Packers for putting a beat down on the Tennessee Titans. What'd you think of that game?
Oh man, how satisfying that must have been for Malik Willis to go back into Tennessee, the team that gave up on him, drafted him and gave up on him in favor of Will Levis, no doubt. I mean, to go in there and lay down 34 on him on the road, Malik Willis got to be a real happy man today. And the fact that the Packers are able to survive Jordan Love being gone for 2 games and win both games, I mean, that's a real blow to the rest of the NFC North, who was kind of banking on maybe at least Green Bay losing one of these games.
I have to disagree with Steve on that part right there. It's like, I'm not here to trash on the defense. I'm not here to trash on the Green Bay Packers, and I won't do that. But it does matter who you play. Like the Tennessee Titans are trying to figure some stuff out, and that's fine. When you're a good team, like I do believe that the Green Bay Packers are a good team, you just come in there, and when you run into a team like the Titans, you do what you did. Get them out of there. Just get them out. Get them out. So kudos on your win, Steve. It's good to see you in here.
And can we comment for a minute on the Vikings, who beat a good Texans team? Didn't just beat them, but they thumped them. They've beaten San Francisco and Houston 2 weeks in a row. Those are two quality upper echelon teams, and they smacked them down. I realize it was at their home stadium, but those are good teams with good quarterbacks. And the Brian Flores defense is playing lights out right now. It's going to be real interesting next week. They go to Lambeau. One of those teams could come out 4-0, and the other one could come out 3-1. So going to be real interesting to see what happens next week in Lambeau with the Minnesota Vikings. Is this a flash in the pan, or is this a fluke, or are these guys for real?
Well, I like this call out right here. Bring out the black jerseys for Monday Night Football. You were saying something about that, weren't you, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, blacks are the alternates, and they're only going to be worn at home. The thing I was saying about it was all these people out in social media calling for the black jerseys on the road. It's not going to happen, folks. Just stop wasting your breath and your keyboard time pining for black jerseys on the road. It's not going to happen. It's only going to happen inside Ford Field, and I believe it will happen this Monday night against those damn Seahawks.
And here's what I love about our page right here, because we're going to get into a little bit of roast posts and trash talk right here, but we're not going to do it like we used to do it. Jason MC in here giving us our flowers. Congrats to the Lions on another gritty win. And congrats on your Vikings winning too, and surprising a lot of people. Honestly, sure. I thought that was the best win of the weekend as far as the NFC North goes, because nobody gave them a chance against them Houston Texans. That's a quality win against a quality team that's going to be in the playoffs.
That's a good call out. Congrats, Jason.
Larry says that championship teams overcome mistakes and get better. Lions defense is a beast, limiting teams to 20 points. Rams, Bucks, and Arizona to 13. Offense pummeled Arizona, especially on the ground. And to add on to that, Larry, I mean, I love that's a great point. And I love the fact that the defense is the strong point of the team. Like last year, Mike and I were on here talking a lot. It's like, it's great to be able to run up 45 points whenever you can, when the offense is humming and you got this, dynamic offense. But I honestly, I would rather bite the kneecaps and have the good defense. And, the offense doesn't have to perform as well when it's like that, because really the Lions kind of dominated that game yesterday. It's just like the offense is just struggling to put it away. God, if they would have had a field goal, a touchdown, any kind of offense in that second half, it would have been out of reach way before that. It was just like, come on, put it away. Come on, put it away. But playing good defense is always going to keep you in games right there. That's a great call out, Larry.
Mm-hmm. Sarah's in the chat. Congratulations to your Vikings, Sarah. No, she'd be here after they show up 3-0. The Sarah would show up.
She came on the Villains cast yesterday, and she wanted flowers immediately. It's like, give me my flowers. And I'm like, well, we're about ready to start the game cast here for the Lions. Give me my flowers.
I'll tell you what, she called that win against the Niners the week before. Yep. 100%. So I don't even think Sarah, though, was expecting them to put a thumping on the Texans the way they did.
Yep, that's a real defense right there. Brian Flores, here's the danger. Like last year, Brian Flores got figured out right as far as his style of defense, but they didn't have the personnel to execute it. You got good schematic stuff, and they were able to surprise some people. Now they have talent in there with Van Ginkel and their first round draft pick and
Dallas Turner. He didn't even play. He didn't even play yesterday.
But they have an attacking defense that it's like it's so weird. Like you alluded to it a couple weeks ago. It's like they lead the league in sending 6, but I also lead the league in dropping those guys all back into coverage. Mm-hmm. So you never know what they're going to do up at the line, and it creates problems for defense. You have to be able to process information very quickly. And Jared Goff was able to do that last year, but I don't know. This is more talent here on the. I think the Minnesota Vikings team is going to be a tough out. Great test for them this week, with them going up against the Packers.
Right.
War week.
And what do we see, though, these two similarities? Yesterday, C.J. Stroud, the week before, Brock Purdy, young quarterbacks who have never seen a Brian Flores defense. Okay, well, I get the Niners did the year before, but, I mean, dialing up different pressures. They said he had 16 different pressure packages. I mean, teams that usually lead the league, then they have 8. Brian Flores dialed up 16 different pressure packages. And when you're a young quarterback, I mean, you think you know where the pressure's coming from, but Brian Flores mixing up, like you said, he'll drop them back. He'll bring them in the box and then drop them back. He'll rush from odd angles. You think you've got a guy matched up one-on-one in the slot, and here comes the blitz. You didn't see it coming. That's just good coaching. All right. That's maximizing what you've got. We know that their roster's a little bit thin on the defensive side. They got guys playing over their head. I'm sorry, Vikings fans, if you don't agree with that, but I mean, that's why you drafted Kyrie Jackson, rest in peace. And that's why you have Mekhi Blackman, who goes down with a hamstring injury. So it's not my opinion that they're missing a lot of pieces on defense. They are, and they're still 3-0 and still giving fits to the opposing teams and opposing quarterbacks. So kudos to them.
Yeah, I'm throwing up some of these comments right here. We got some votes for villain of the week. Brian Branch had a really, really good game too. What a scary hit. Knocked himself unconscious on I think that was Trey McBride that he hit. Big hit right there. But he played a great game in that. I can't wait.
Yeah, I was scared. That one really scared me because I could see right through his face mask that he was knocked out cold.
Right. Paul said that he'll nominate Kirby Joseph as well. David Montgomery from Dwayne. I'm on Ross St. Brown too. We might have to put 4 or 5 guys on here because I definitely want to put Jack Fox on that list because field position was the entire second half. Like nobody really did anything in the second half. So it was all about starting field position, and keeping them behind the chains. And they did such a good job in that. Kneecap, Jeremy B in there, Kirby, Hutch, Branch, and Reeder. Defensive stars. The whole defense, man. 13 points. That's a powerful offense. And Marvin Harrison Jr. is a dude.
He's a dude.
He's somebody.
Yeah, he's a dude. I mean, he's the man child, right? Look, I mean, and when you take a look at how many throws Kyler also put over his head. I sailed him when he was wide open. Marvin Harrison, 5 catches for 64 yards and a touchdown. Kid looks like a beast. He's going to be a problem for a long time.
Yeah, and the reason why they were sailing the balls was because the Lions were pressuring. The hurries were there. Like I said, I can't wait to look at some of these numbers for tomorrow, but I got a feeling that pressures and hurries are going to be way high up because they were forcing him to throw the ball early and, getting him excited. And when you overthrow balls, that's usually a sign that you're getting pressure and you're sailing them, so the Lions defensive line did a great job yesterday. That's the 3rd game in a row they've dictated to the offense, Mike, where it's like you're going to have to get rid of the ball fast or your game's going to be done. So we're forcing people into a short game, and with our defensive backs and the way that they want to play, the better that those defensive backs get at that one-on-one press man coverage, this defense could be something special by mid-season going into the end of the season.
Absolutely.
But I think do you want to get into the roast posts now? Like trying to get into some of these?
Okay. You're watching the Villain Report, hosted by Russell Wayne, and this is a special segment brought to you by NFL Shop. The Villain Squad is an official marketing partner of NFL Shop. Be sure to scan the QR code you see right there on your screen. Buy some sweet NFL swag, and you can save 25% off your order when you use the Villain code. Leverage the power of the villain and be guilty by association. Roast posts are back.
Boom! I wanted to throw that one in there. I got a couple extra that you didn't send me. So the Sam Darnold apology form.
Sam Darnold apology form. Holy cow. Right, I love this one. I don't know ball. You just check
because we have decided that Sam Darnold needs to change his name to Darnold Schwarzenegger.
3-0, yeah.
Come on. Try hard. Get to the chopper. Got all of those people out of there.
Take my hand if you want to live.
Yep. And this is where I got the idea to make that post from your boy. And you got most of these from the NFC North, the huddle, right? Some of the trash talking groups.
Yeah, this one was author unknown.
Author unknown.
Y'all Darnold Schwarzenegger hating ass people now.
Yeah, but doesn't that tell you a little something right there? If you're going to go author unknown, that really gives me a little bit of shakiness on how much you actually believe that, because you don't want somebody to screenshot that if he ends up turning back into the Darnold that we all know and love, because that's all right. But that's all right. We're not going to go there. We can't do that.
This one comes from Anthony Affer. Says Minnesota's 3-0 start is all smoke and mirrors. Can't wait until they get the reality check next week. That must be a Packer fan, as the Vikings go to Lambeau next week. So, I mean, I've never rooted for a Viking team to go 4-0, but next week I might just be rooting for the Vikings to go 4-0.
Yeah. There you go.
Man, I know those Packer haters are eating monkey balls right now. And the Bears fans are turning on their team once again. The NFC North. Yeah, are they calling for Tyson Bagent yet?
And then Henry Gray's going to chime in. This is live. Where's Broski at?
Right.
Oh, man. He might be in there. I don't know. We'll have to see. But that one came in there before. Yeah, he's been kind of missing in action the last couple of weeks. All right, let's see what else we got in here. How about this one?
This is a new one for me. I'll be back talking shit on Facebook when the Packers win again. For sure. This one's accurate. When they lose, they are gone.
Yep. So this message is brought to you by Steve and A-Dub.
A-Dub with a fresh fit. He went to Nashville to the game yesterday, and he had some great photos he put out on social media. And the Grim Reaper knocking on the door to Lambeau.
So I mean, what do you think on that? Like, while we're getting in here, because this is it's not really trash talking right there, but I mean, what do you think in that game? Who do you got in the advantage?
I mean, Lambeau's a hard place to play. We don't know the results of Sam Darnold's MRI he's having this morning on the knee. It was a knee injury. I think if Darnold plays, the Vikings go 4-0.
Wow. Really giving it to him, going into Lambeau right there. Do you think that you're going to get a Jordan Love sighting?
I do. I think Jordan Love will play.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, what an impressive victory for them Minnesota Vikings. But you never know, man. You never know.
Is it smoke and mirrors, though, as Anthony's saying in this roast post?
Sorry, I doubled down on some of the stuff.
Bust touchdown count. This comes from Eric and Lisa, or Eric or Lisa Fisher. Caleb Williams with 2 touchdowns. Jameson Williams with 1. Yeah, Caleb Williams throws his first touchdown pass. He gets 2 in a losing effort against Indy. Jameson Williams with only 1. But my question, I mean, how much can we really buy into this roast post when you have a joint Facebook account, right? I mean, nothing says my balls are in her purse like a joint Facebook account. Now, I can't give too much credence to someone with a joint Facebook account. I'm sorry.
A bust touchdown count is Caleb Williams with 2. Are these all are they saying that these guys are busts or they're not busts?
I think he's saying they are all busts. And I think by Josh Jacobs leading the league in rushing 2 years ago, he's already avoided the bust tag.
Right. I don't really get that. I don't get that one. And, Jameson Williams is, I think he's in the top 10 in receiving yards, even though he didn't have a great third game right there. But it's like, our offense is dictated off of a whole bunch of different things happening. And I mean, Jared Goff only threw like 24 passes, and that's right where we want to be, right, Mike? So
absolutely. Absolutely. But however, Russ, if this is where you and I always butt heads on this, if his season were to end tomorrow, God forbid, if his season were to end tomorrow, he would not be shaking the bust tag.
Well, sure. If his season ended tomorrow,
yeah. So the jury's still out on whether he's a bust.
On Jameson Williams being a bust?
Correct.
Okay. I mean, I don't get it at this point in time. Who will the Bears take with their first overall pick next year? Asking for a friend.
Nice.
And that's all we had for the Buffs. Did you have another one in there? Did I forget one?
No, I think that was all of them.
Okay. So I'm glad that we brought that back. Yeah. Hey, it's on a roast post. Roast posts are cool. Shut up, dumbass. People want to talk football. All right.
Are you them boys have been whacking it in my camper? How about this comment from Sarah? Packers is smoke and mirror. Who have they beaten? 2 teams with losing records. We beat 2 Super Bowl contenders. Come talk shit to me when you've actually beat someone. Ooh, Sarah throwing haymakers at the Packer fans this morning.
Take that. Take that. Man. It's like, that's right, brother. What you gonna do when the Detroit Lions run wild on you? That's a big to do right there. If you can run the football, God, that changes the whole dynamic of a game, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Whether you can run, whether you're dealing with a 2nd and 5 or a 2nd and 9, the play calling changes. That's one of the things that I really like about all 3 of the good teams here in the NFC North. Why are they so good? Right? The reason that the Packers, I believe, are a good team is because they're playing good defense. They're shutting teams down by getting to the quarterback and forcing turnovers. And when you're playing good defense, like the Minnesota Vikings are, when you're able to get pressure, then that completely changes the dynamic of how you call plays, of what type of offense that you can run. You can run the ball more if you're not playing from behind. You're forcing turnovers. You're able to control the line of scrimmage. I do believe that the Minnesota Vikings are stronger They're stronger because they're strong up front. They're strong. I mean, the Green Bay Packers have a good defensive line, right? They've been getting to the quarterback, but they ain't faced an offensive line like the Minnesota Vikings yet. Like they haven't had this great offensive line that they went up, or defensive line that they've went up against.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that Minnesota is going to be able to protect Sam Darnold, or even Nick Mullins if he's back there. I hope it's not Nick Mullins. I hope that Darnold plays, so there's no excuses that it's Jordan Love versus Sam Darnold. And we'll see how they do, because to me, Jordan Love has a lot to prove under a team that gets after him.
Mm-hmm. How about this call from Steve? That Packers defense you're talking about, Russ, 8 sacks and 8 interceptions. That's nothing to sneeze at.
Right. That's right. It's not. But you also had Will Levis in there, and Will Levis has been throwing multiple interceptions to everybody.
Mm-hmm. And Jeremy's giving him his flowers, saying, good job, Steve, but who was a playoff contender? I'm sorry, Jeremy, and I appreciate the comment, but I don't go with that. This is the NFL, okay? This is the NFL. And the Titans made some nice offseason moves. They were looking better than an 0-3 start coming into the season. I think that was still a quality win. Indianapolis, they've got some weapons over there. They almost made the playoffs last year. They were a playoff contender last year for sure. So I'm not going to diminish what the Packers have accomplished based on those two opponents, but I do like the comment.
They got your boy too. They're the ones that signed Sneed, L'Jarius Sneed. Yeah, I mean you were a big like, oh, let's go get this guy. Let's go get a shutdown corner, and I'm glad they did what they did. You know, doubling down on it and going getting Carlton, and just getting 3 quality corners over that one guy. I think is the move, but they got a bunch of dudes over there. But how's that work out for you? Think about that next year, guys. When you're like, oh, then to go out and get $31 million dude over there at the other team. Just think about that. How well is that working for the Tennessee Titans right now? Going all in on that one player. I mean,
right. And so much of this league is predicated on quarterback play, right? And they're just getting terrible quarterback play there in Tennessee. They easily could not be 0-3 had their quarterback been a little better than that.
Yeah, well, they should have beat the Bears. I mean, he gave them the game. I mean, that thing, I think he was trying to throw it out of bounds, where he was just trying to get it out of there, and it just ended up throwing it right to the defense and an easy walk-in for a touchdown.
Yep, up 17-0 at halftime, and they lose the game because he just tried to get too cute with everything. Yep. And I love the comments by their coach afterwards. Brian Callahan says, we could have just punted on first down every possession and still won the game. So, I mean, look at that. They jump out to that 17-0 start in their first game. They made some great offseason moves. This looked like a team that was on its way, and now they're 0-3. And they got beat by Malik Willis. Unbelievable.
Guy looks good, man. I'm trying to find the fault in it, but it's like LaFleur is just he's a good offensive schemer and getting the most out of his guys. And Malik Willis isn't being asked to do a lot. And I think that's going to be the key to beating that team if Malik Willis was there. But now he served his purpose. He got 2 W's. And now your starting quarterback's going to be coming back. So all that smack that all the people were talking about the Packers, you know, now they're going to be at full strength, and that defense is firing. That defense, I mean, that ain't no joke. Those are real stats. 8 sacks, 8 interceptions.
Yeah.
Getting the ball, getting the turnovers.
Sure. David says, Faith Family Football, have a swell day, every one of us. Thank you, David. Don't forget tonight, folks, it's the Main Event Football Show at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, hosted by yours truly, produced by the Maestro Russell Wayne. That's tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the Villain Squad Network. Main Event Football Show. We're going to be talking about these predictions that we made on Thursday and what our record was on these predictions. And, of course, we're going to be breaking down the game from yesterday. Also, I think we're going to have some updates on injuries after we watch the Dan Campbell press conferences this morning. And we're going to have a lot to talk about. So join us tonight on the show. I've got a jet. God bless you.
That's main event Mike. And as you can see right there on the flyer, he's going to be here tonight. Going to make that event. Hopefully we can get everybody in here chirping before Monday Night Football starts. But good win the NFC North is looking really, really strong. I mean, all the way through. I think that the NFC North is looking strong. You know, you got quality wins. There's already quality wins on these with all of the teams. Paul Jones says Fields is going to flourish because he's being developed. The Bears can't develop players. I think that's becoming obvious in there. And it was the thing that we were all kind of scared of for the Bears. You know, they get hyped up every offseason, kind of like Lion fans used to do in the under Stafford. And they just can't develop the players. The stuff is on the inside. I mean, Poles is bringing in talent, but you ain't got anybody that can coach that talent. They're going to be calling for Eberflus. They're going to be calling for his job here pretty soon. Will Levis throws out interceptions like candy on Halloween. Yeah, he's giving them away like Oprah. Giving away those. I mean, it's not good. You can't. I mean, you don't want to. I hate when we go and we try to downplay wins in the NFL, because here's the thing: is like the whole script of the game gets changed with, you know, different plays that are made. You know, so it's like when you look at something that happened in the first half and go, yeah, if they would have did this and then everything would have been different. It's like, that's, to me, that's weak, because you play, you know, when you're playing chess, you know, you're going move to move. You know, you're trying to set people up for different things. You know, you're scheming different things to happen. And, you know, looking back at it, you got to play the team that's in front of you. You know, and if the Tennessee Titans are a weak team this year, and, you know, and your team gets to go up and play them, you got to take advantage of it, because they may not be weak next week. You know, they may start gelling next week, and then they start playing good football, because teams do this, you know, all season long. So we're about ready to lose the people on the Huddle. Hey, Huddle Network, everybody that's over on the Huddle Sports Network, come on over to the YouTube page. Come on over to the YouTube page before they cut the stream off. And they have to cut the stream off, because that's when Ken and Ken's going to be starting here in about 30 seconds. And then that's going to be all gone. So head on over to the YouTube channel. Give us a subscribe. That's at Lions Villain Squad. And that way you can be like Pete the Unaliver over there in his lion suit, saying, hey, I took care of that thing for you. You know what I'm saying? I took care of that thing for you. But faith, family, and then football. But have a blessed day. What's up, Mark? I'm on many NFC North rival pages. Many Bear fans are calling out Ryan Poles already. I mean, look at what's going on there, Bear fan. It's like, don't call out Ryan Poles. Ryan Poles is, I mean, he's giving yourself lottery tickets. And Jaden Daniels, maybe he is the better quarterback. But still, would Jaden Daniels be making your team better right now? I don't know. Jaden Daniels would have had to learn behind Eberflus. And if he has to learn behind Eberflus, maybe Jaden Daniels won't be that good underneath of that. I mean, look at what's happening with Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin gets a hold of Justin Fields for one training camp, and all of a sudden he looks like an efficient quarterback. Holy crap. somebody that can use somebody's strengths to their advantage and not put them in position to be a pocket quarterback. It's like, play with the strengths. Our division is the only division with 3 winning teams. That's a great point, Sarah. And they all look good. And they all look good defensively. That's where the strength of the team is. I mean, to me, the weakest part of the Lions is the offense right now. And when you're playing good defense, you can carry an offense. Last year it seemed like the offense was carrying the defense. Lions would get in these big shootouts and win these big scoring games because they could score a lot of points. This year, it doesn't seem like the Lions are quite as efficient, but they're playing good defense. So, I love seeing the Cowgirls showing their truth. There it is. I know this is off the conversation, but for Stafford haters, yesterday says that all you need to know about him on the second, third, and fourth string guys will say all that, but all the people will say he needs all of the help around him. I mean, Stafford had a good win yesterday, but I mean, there's still, is Christian McCaffrey playing? I mean, the San Francisco's kind of going through it right now, where they're down some guys. So Stafford got a victory yesterday, and that's good. And really, he got it done, or did Kyron Williams get it done? I mean, are we? Let's see what Stafford did yesterday. Before I'm going to get all in on, let's really look at this. Rams, let's look at that. 24-27 player counts. Rams, man. Wow, okay. I don't know. Stafford was okay. 16 for 25, 221 yards. I mean, that's a lot of incomplete passes. Touchdown. He was efficient. Kyron Williams, they leaned on him. 24 carries for 89 yards, 2 touchdowns. So, I don't know if I would be the first. I'm not going to give Corey all that. Yeah. Are we comparing Goff to Stafford? Are we comparing Goff to Stafford because of 16 of 25 for 221? He had, nobody really had a big receiving game. Tutu Atwell had 4 catches. So I don't know. That's okay. No, McCaffrey didn't play, but don't think it would matter. And did Goff get it done, or did Montgomery get it done? Montgomery got it done. And I'll give somebody their flowers when they deserve flower. I'm not going to give Stafford his flowers. I'm not going to give flowers to Goff. I don't know if you've been watching this show today, Corey, but I've been giving flowers to Jack Fox. I want to give some flowers to the defense of the Lions. The Lions are playing. Goff is being what he needs to be in that game. Goff was okay. I mean, he didn't throw a lot of incompletions, but I'm not going to give Goff flowers. 18 of 23 for $199, 2 TDs and 1 interception. Nah, I'm not going to give Goff flowers either. But I'm definitely not going to give Stafford any flowers for. I mean, really, do you want me to give him flowers? You want me to give him flowers for, 200 yards, barely, like he needs to complete more 16 of 25. That's not even real efficient. So now I'll give Kyron Williams the flowers, and I'll give David Montgomery the flowers. David Montgomery, 23 carries, 105 yards. Jahmyr Gibbs, 16 carries, 83 yards. I'll give the offensive line some flowers. The offensive line needed a bounce back day, and they were able to control the line of scrimmage. No, Goff is a person that needs to be protected by the game plan. And if you're calling a good game, you should be able to keep him in good positions. As long as you get good play out of your best players. And who are the best players on the Lions? It's the offensive line, in my opinion. That's where your best players got to be. The offensive line makes it go. Having a running game makes Jared Goff the best version that Jared Goff can be. So, no, I don't want to. The whole Goff, the whole Goff Stafford thing, I think gets a little bit overplayed. The Lions got Goff and a bunch of other players for Stafford. So, when you really look at a trade, I mean, you can argue it all day that you want, but it's really a wash at this point because the Rams wanted a Super Bowl. The Lions didn't want a Super Bowl out of that trade. They wanted to rebuild the team. The Rams were the ones that were saying F them picks. They were the ones that were all in on that year, and they put all their chips into the table, and they got it done. There's your flowers, Stafford. Take your flowers. You got it done. That's what they made the trade for, so it worked out for the Rams. It doesn't even matter if Stafford gets him another one. You got a title. You traded 2 first-round picks, and you got it. Yeah, I mean, really, who cares? You traded 2 first-round picks to get a title, and it worked. But the Lions got 2 first-round picks and a quarterback, and they already got what they wanted out of that deal. So it's already been a win-win for both teams. The Lions don't need a Super Bowl out of that trade. The Lions need to get a Super Bowl for the franchise. The Lions need to get a Super Bowl because they haven't had one ever. But from that trade, the Lions wanted to rip the team down to the studs and rebuild something different with a different culture, with a different feel. And they've accomplished that. They've already accomplished that. And as we get through farther to the end of the season, that's what it's going to get to. It's good. But no, I'm not on the Stafford hate or Stafford love. I'm not going to give him, I don't care. I agree with you, Kneecap. No, CMC put their back under him. Mason is a beast too. David is a beast. O-line 1,000%. Mark said O-line had a good game yesterday. And the coolest thing is that the defense is playing good. When you're looking at this team, the defense is playing good. So that means that your offense doesn't need to go crazy. Jared Goff can be 18 for 23 for $199. He threw one bad interception, but I don't even think he saw that linebacker. I mean, I know we'd be crucifying if they lost a game on that one pick, but I mean, there was a point in the first half where Jared Goff was 14 for 14. So I definitely ain't going to hate on Goff for having a very, very efficient and very good first half. And in the second half was a defensive struggle. That was a game of just really good defense at the end of that game. It was field position. That's why I nominated Jack Fox. Like 4 punts inside the 10. Come on, man. That's elite level. The punt is so undersold as a play. Like, Jack Fox is a beast. Definitely deserves some flowers. Jack Fox, baby. Let's get down there. Look at that. 5 punts, 247 yards. 4 of them inside the 20. That's all that guy does. Inside the 20. Terrion, always lined up on the best that they have, may have to nominate him. I can't do it yet. He needs to play a clean game before I nominate Terrion Arnold to put him on that list. I got to see you go a full game without penalties and check your guy. And honestly, I think that Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be a beast in this league. And that is a tough cover. So I see where you're coming from, Adam. 100%. I see where you're coming from. Hey, Mark, I see that you're watching over on the Facebook. I would love for you to go over and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let me get this up here. I'm going to throw the YouTube channel in there for everybody that's watching right now. And I would love to see you go over and subscribe to that YouTube channel. Pretty, please. And because we're trying to build that up too. I mean, right now there's a very big disparity where, but we started building it first, but the 53,000 followers on our Facebook page. And we're trying to move some of you guys over, right? Move on over to the YouTube page. I think the YouTube does a better job with all the copyright stuff. They don't ding us as much. I think it's a better platform for video as we move it forward. And on the Villain Squad, that's where we put most of our, we post 13, 14 times a day. All Lions content. Outside of some of the community work that we do, like with my wife's page. My wife is an advocate for autism awareness. Right there, that's her. All beautiful and stuff. Advocate. And right now we're using all of our stars. Like in the Facebook stars, if you're familiar with it, you can comment using stars and, attach a star value to it, and Facebook pays the page. And we're going to use 100% of that to help Ashton continue being a resource for parents that have children with special needs. So that's how we're going to use our star program right there. But outside of that, the good stuff that we do, it's football conversations. We want you to engage in the football conversation. So I put a shout out right now to some of our graphics artists. Stephen Michael, he's one of our super villains. You can catch some of his stuff on the page. Make sure that you go follow him. I like using these QR codes. You can just use it. And then there's Elise Memes. She's the queen of memes. You can go check her out. She's one of our super villains. She puts some pretty good content onto our page as well. And hey, Bavis, like the Villain Squad is cool. Join us every week for the Lions Villain Cast. Yes, the Villain Cast. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it out to the game this Monday night, but we will be broadcasting the game live the Seattle Seahawks versus the Detroit Lions right there. And this is the Lion Villain Report. It's Overreaction. Victory Monday. Lions win 20-13. And you can join the Villain Squad and the Villain Report every day at 10 a.m. And that's the way that we do it. We're getting into the end here. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Join me tomorrow for PFF Tuesday. We're going to go over all the nerdy stuff. Don't forget to join us tonight for the Main Event Football Show with Main Event Mike. We want to dive even deeper into some of these NFC North teams. Do you got to worry about? Who's the team that you're worried about the most in the NFC North right now? Obviously, you can take the Bears out of there right now. I mean, you want to get excited because you got 200 yards passing in garbage time. That's all good. But who's the team that you're the most scared of between the Vikings and the Packers? And they're going head to head this week. And we got a Monday Night Football game tonight. Broadcasting live into the Facebook page right there, Lions Villain Squad. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel at Lions Villain Squad. Shout out to Joe Chapp and the boys over at Detroit Lions News Podcast. It's faith, family, and then football. In that order. We use football, spend time with our family, to create memories. We don't let football use us. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again tonight for the Main Event Football Show. Peace out.